Hey everyone, great to be with you for a couple of minutes. My name is Vanessa Codorniu. I am a psychic, an intuitive trainer, hypnotherapist, and a coach. And I wanted to talk about something that a lot of people who are online are not talking about. And that is about psychic protection. Now, some spiritual folks, especially a lot of people who focus a lot on the love and light, are going to say, well, I don't need it. I'm in the love and light. I don't need it. I'm in the love and light. If you don't, I'm so happy for you. Now, for the rest of us who are dealing with many different types of clients and going into many different spaces, we need to be aware that sometimes people are carrying attachments, right? They're not necessarily evil, they're not necessarily bad, but they are energies that have attached to them, whether it's hooks or thought forms, implants, ETs, right? I know it sounds out there, ETs. It could be so many different things. It could be ancestral patterns. It could be ancestral curses, not necessarily one created under the full moon or the new moon, with a sacrificial animal or anything. I'm talking about ancestral curses, information, ideas, beliefs, paradigms that are passed on from generation to generation to generation, whether they're spoken or unspoken. And so we inherit these, and so we carry these forward. And so sometimes when you're dealing with clients, you're dealing with friends, you're dealing with people, you're dealing with yourself. You've got these energies that are also coming and attaching to you. Now, when we are super excited and super ready to serve and to show up, hi Ria, we can sometimes overlook the fact that these energies are there. So Ria, we're talking about how a lot of, love and light healers and a lot of energy online doesn't really deal with protection, doesn't really talk about it. And a lot of folks are like, Vanessa, don't talk about it. We don't really need it because we're in the light. Well, I am in the light. I've been doing readings since I'm 16 and telling my mom things about people since I'm a little kid, and professionally getting paid to do readings since I'm 22. It's been over 25 years. And so when I came into this world where there's a lot of yoga training and a lot of other, meditation training, which is beautiful and fabulous, the idea that what we don't talk about doesn't manifest. If you don't think about it, it won't happen. Well, let me tell you, I didn't think about it when it came into my life. I wasn't talking about it when I saw someone. Right. I know, exactly. And the thing is that this energy, which I don't want to call, let's just say not great positive energy, right? This energy can come in so many different forms. It can come in people who have their own agendas. It can come even in people who are okay and they're kind and they're loving, but they don't know that they're carrying, right, these attachments, ancestral patterns, or anything like that. And then we work with them or we deal with them and we bring it on ourselves. And so dealing with psychic protection, dealing with healing. Now I'm going to talk about what we can do real quick. I mean, because there's a million things we could do. We could take special baths. We could do special things with our homes, over our doors. We could do special, talismanic things with our bodies, mind, body, and spirit. And if you do Reiki, you can do one of the symbols in each corner of your house and protect your house that way. So there's a lot of things that we can do. But first, we need to embrace the fact that it exists. And again, I don't want to go into the fact, like, I'm still not talking about energies that actually want to harm you. I'm not even talking about, I'm talking about the regular stuff. People having an argument, you walk into the room and you pick up the feelings. But it's super important that if you're going to quote unquote dabble into the spiritual world, or if you're going to walk in fully to learn mastery and become a master, that you need to master grounding. And what does that mean? To be fully in our body. Because when we're flying up here, which so many of us love to do, because right, it feels good to be flying, that's when another spirit can take over. That's when another energy can come in. That's when a lot can happen. So we want to stay fully grounded. We want to develop a spiritual practice where we understand that when we're not going into a spiritual experience, yes, thank you, Ria, we're not going into a spiritual experience alone. It's not just us, the little powerful healer, walking in to do a Reiki healing or create a healing protocol for someone, or do hypnosis or hands-on healing. We're coming in with backup. We're coming in with a spiritual team. We're coming in with our angels, our guides, masters. We're coming in with God, Goddess. We're coming in with our Orishas. We're coming in with whoever we want to call in. And that's really important. So grounding, to be here on earth, to be present, and then to call in our healing team. Most hypnotherapists do not call in a healing team when they're doing the work out loud. They might do it quietly. Hey, boo bracho, how are you? We're talking about protecting ourselves when we're doing healing work. and how some people don't believe that we need it. And in my experience, which is now over 30 years, we need it. We need it. Okay. And so it's really important to be grounded. It's healing to call in our guides and our angels. It's important to know who we're dealing with. Who are we dealing with? We're calling them guides and angels. Do we know them? Are we dealing with Saint Michael? Are we dealing with Archangel Michael? Are we dealing with a being of light? Are we dealing with, healed ancestors that are well? Sometimes we call in the whole posse, and maybe some of them are still mad at somebody, or maybe somebody, is still holding anger over something that happened to their family. And so we need to call in the well ancestors. So it's being grounded, getting to know our spiritual posse, knowing we have one. And 3, we need to have some sort of daily practice, whatever it may be. If it's prayer, if it's Reiki, if it's clearing the space, if it's using sage, but we need to be grounded and connected when we do it. And number 4, and this is an abbreviated version, there's so much more we can do. I suggest that you use your spiritual protection and healing before you need it. Why? Because when something weird's already happening, like I had somebody call me today who told me there's like this dark mist over their bed, and now even their mother, who doesn't believe anything, is seeing it, right? So it's really important to have, your healing techniques, and to have your techniques that you trust, like that you've cleansed your house, or how to clear it, or even how to get rid of that energy that decided to pay you a visit, or even to ask it, well, what are you here to teach me, right? So you need to have a spiritual practice, and you need to practice this before you go full in to be doing healing work with other people. Now, this is really, really short. It was 4 points. There's so much more to psychic protection. Again, it's really a book, it's a story, it's a documentary, it's a whole long movie. There's as many ways to do psychic protection as there are people. But if you've got your grounding, if you know who you're dealing with in terms of your guides and your protections, if you've got the spiritual practice and if you're practicing it before you go into this work, you'll come in with more of a backup. If you want to know more, if you want to talk more about this, reach out to me, you can PM me. I have intuitive classes, I have Akashic Record reading, and I also have Akashic Record sessions and hypnosis. But I just wanted to show up and share this because I'm finding so many people are opening up right now, because it's very trendy, very cool, and also very needed. It's very trendy and cool, I feel, because it's very needed. And know that even negative influences can come in looking bright, can come in looking like a little rainbow and a little unicorn on its tail. And meanwhile, it doesn't have the best of intentions. It's manipulating you into ego. It's manipulating you into other things. So stay awake, stay brave, stay strong, stay grounded. And remember, now we have each other. We can reach out to each other, or we can also not fall into the healing business. We can also say no to some clients. If you're feeling that somebody is actually carrying something negative that kind of wants to throw it off on you, which can happen, say no. It's okay. We're not here to save everyone. We are just one of the messengers on earth. Everyone is here to do their part. Every human being on the planet has a divine connection to God. Every human being on the planet has a higher self, has guides, and we don't have to feel like we are the savior. And also, we don't have to sacrifice ourselves and become martyrs. That's a whole other video. Because spiritual people, we're so easy to become martyrs and to sacrifice ourselves for others, and there's no need for that. We're here to create a new reality. We're here to become empowered healers. We're here to be grounded, to be abundant, healthy, and still help the world, with not too much of a tremendous ego and narcissism. And I say not too much because I think we need still a little bit of ego to survive on the planet. It helps us survive. But really, let's give up on the martyrdom. Let's give up on going into things without knowing what we're doing. Let's get some information before we go in. Thank you, Ria. It's been so fun to have you on. Yes, empowered. We've got to let go of those days where we were just working for others and just not being able to eat or depending on others, like the monasteries and the temples. Those were other times. I think that we all want to choose the clothes that we're wearing, right? Some folks say to me, oh, I liked it back in the day because the monastery days, we didn't have to deal with money and we could just heal people and do the work. I'm like, but girl, then we had to be celibate whether we wanted it or not. And we also couldn't wear whatever we wanted to wear. We couldn't live where we wanted to live. We had to be in one place doing one job. So we've gone through that in other lifetimes. And now we're incarnating here to bring that beautiful mission forward, to be empowered, to help support the world, but also to enjoy this life as ensouled beings who are also trying to grow and clear up their own karma and just have a good time as well. So sending you all so much love. Thanks for listening. Bye, Ria. Thanks for adding. And we will be back soon. Bye, loves.